Hey there, guys, what is going on? Sloppy here, playing some more of the Creativerse from the Creatinators server. First of all, let me apologize. I do not have as much time to record as I usually do, so we might not get as much done as one would come to expect from such a fine series of building and crafting and the various other things you do in this game. I'm sorry, I'm a fool, but that's okay. You guys gave me lots of really great ideas for what to do in this area. Some blocks that look good, some blocks that don't look good, and we're going to experiment today with some of the different textures that you guys have suggested. Now, one of the big things about this area is I really don't want to change the landscape too much. You know, small amounts of terraforming here and there are fine, but for the most part, I really don't want to touch any of the trees. I don't even really want to change too much of the grass or whatnot, because I feel like its natural positioning is really great. And obviously we can't recreate these trees without blueprints or trying to make it myself. I don't know. So we're probably going to use leaves and some of this wood and whatnot, but we're going to have to go find another savanna to steal that from. Anywho, yeah, you guys gave me some really great idea for block types. I'm going to go down here where I might be slightly more safe. You guys gave me some really great idea for blocks that might look good. So if we just scroll down through here, a lot of people were suggesting some of the desert villa blocks, some of these mosaic tiles. I actually haven't used. They do look a little bit like what you might see in like New Mexico or something. You know, they're kind of famous for like ceramics and whatnot. So these mosaic tile blocks, which I don't use, I don't think I've ever used in a build, are interesting. I also really love these iron blocks, but most people were saying, hey man, rustic blocks, these look great. These stuccos, apparently these stuccos look fantastic. Ooh, the yellow stucco is a little expensive because it uses the canyon stone. But, yeah, a lot of people were talking about these, and I'm intrigued. So let's make some of those. The other one people mentioned, I do not actually have. The other one people said, quite a few people mentioned, was one of these premium block sets. I actually don't have all the premium block sets. A lot of them drive me crazy. I didn't realize there was a Desert Villa bundle. I don't really like any of those blocks. But the other one people were talking about is the Hidden Temple. I just scrolled right past it because they got a bit of brown in them. But anywho, there's sort of two things I want to do. One is more or less decide on a color palette. You know, it'll vary and everything, but I'm kind of just interested in what our main collection of blocks will be. Because, you know, anytime you build, you kind of want to know what you're going to build with. So that way, you know, you can collect the materials to build it, etc., etc. The other big thing I want to do today, because it's been driving me crazy, is to at least put a dent in some of these login bundles. You know, they're starting to get to the point where it's getting a little bit absurd. I might even open some of these other bundles that I just haven't touched. Doors. I could get one of every door. Anywho, let's just get started. I'm going to mock up a little something. I think we're going to do it right over our cave. I kind of want a little entrance to our little workshop. So I'm going to try and mock up something using some blocks, see what kind of looks good, see what feels good. I'm still not really sure what I even want to build in this area. So let's just experiment. We are over here at the spawn because I want to talk about a few things. One of which is landscaping. We might do a little bit. Not in this area, in the area we're building. And the other thing I wanted to do is run on over. Ooh, a little bit of lag. Run on over to Sided Master's update hill over here. So this is Sided Master's little update area. So anytime there's a new block, we come over here and check it out. It's been a while, I guess, since the Galactic update that has been used. But anyway, I wanted to check out all the different doors in the game because it's not something I usually look at. Where am I going? I was trying to get the... I don't usually look at doors. And I think it's going to be good to check those out. Let me clean up this area a little bit, get these doors down, because I really want to sort of put them down, visualize them. It's part of the reason I liked having the museum, which if you guys don't know about, I used to make a museum where I wanted to have all the different blocks in Creativerse, and I kind of wanted to start that project up again because it's something I actually really like having, which is just the ability to go somewhere and see all of the... Oh my gosh, this is giving me the idea of what I should build in the savannah. Do I want to put it in a savannah? Huh, I don't know. But one of the things I really like to do is have all the blocks sort of out where I can visualize them. I'm very much a visual style learner. Is there no chest? Let me just put down a chest. I'm not sure whose stuff this is, so I'm just going to throw it all in a chest. But I'm a very visual learner, which is why I like having everything sort of laid out for me. And the museum was a project to sort of have everything laid out. So you could go in, you could see all the different types of lights, you could see all the different doors, you could see all the different windows. Because Creativerse is laid out slightly strangely. If you go to the build tab, you have things separated by their group. You know, you have your stone stuff, your Grecian stuff. But one thing that some people don't realize, and this tricked me more than a few times, is that not every block is in one of these subsections. So for example, if I go to rustic, which is what I was building with, you have your stuccos, you have one window, you're like, oh, okay, that's all the rustic blocks. But if you go back to the all tab and you search window, there's stucco windows, but they're not in the build tab. And my mind gets confused. I also forget about blocks, like the stone window lattice. I just forget about blocks, and I like having a place to visualize all of these different things. Maybe that's what we should start to build. A second museum. Let's not call it the museum. Let's come up with a better name. No, I don't particularly have one in my mind. No, I don't have anything to offer. Anyway, let me get these doors down because I am curious to see what all the doors look like. And here are all of the doors in the game. Actually, not even all of them. If we do a quick searchy-roo of door. You've got the trap doors. The ice door, I don't think was out when this came out. But either way, a nice collection of doors. Yeah. The more I think about it, the more I really would like to have a place where I could go and you'd see all these things sort of lined up. That would be really nice. Do I want to build that in a savannah, though? I didn't really have any plans for my build in the savannah. Maybe now I do. The only problem I have with that, well, I don't know. But here are all the doors. There's actually quite a few I kind of forget about. Like the stone door and the bedrock door, I think both look really good. Seeing the color difference is interesting. I forget how much gray is in the bedrock. Obsidian door looks lovely. It looks like that would be like a big keyhole. For some reason, I always picture that. This door, iron bar door. It's nice. Some love. What is this? Medieval? Medieval. A lot of nice doors. A lot of nice doors. But yeah, I don't know. I'm talking too much, but I do like sort of visually seeing these things. Same with like the windows. You know what? Why don't I'm gonna get these windows together too. I kind of want. Yeah. Guys, I did it. Look how clean my bundle section looks. I'm gonna get rid of it entirely. That's right. I'm going to completely get rid of this. Look how many I collected up. I put them all in a chest because it's just absurd. Look at this. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Remember when we didn't get this stuff for free? Ludicrous times. No, it's pretty cool. Anyway, let's redeem this Rye guy. I don't know who that is, but I'm sure they're a really great a YouTuber or streamer. Anyway, let's... Can we just not talk about this attempt? I mean, we could just not talk about it, forget it exists, and we all move on with our lives. I've been having a lot of trouble. I've been trying to build for a little bit here. This is just all up in my inventory. I've been having a little bit of trouble figuring out the style in which to build. It's been going poorly, I guess is a way you could say. I really love this biome. I just have no idea how to build in it. This is like my 4th attempt, by the way. This wasn't like the first thing I tried. This is like the best version of everything I tried, which is just horrifying. So yeah, well, let's just, I don't know. I don't know how to build here. Does that make sense? Like, I'm gonna try a little bit more. But I don't know. I'm a little embarrassed by this attempt. And sadly, this was the best of the 4 various little tiny houses I tried. I thought wood looked very strange because of the color difference with all of these edges of the savanna grass. Like wood, we have like wood stair. Like, I felt like wood, to me, that's like kind of jarring. I find when colors are like close but off, it drives me insane. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to keep trying in this savanna, but boy, I tell you what, clearing my bundle section might be the best thing I could achieve in this biome, because I am just struggling to, you know what, I always like carrying extractors just in case I run into anything. Yeah, I'm going to keep trying though, so, yeah. Well, I decided to try and incorporate the wood a little bit more. The other thing I thought might be kind of cool is to sort of burrow little huts into the side of this river and just sort of have a collection of sort of smaller places, and then maybe, you know, a couple bridges. I was thinking, you know, like a bridge up here, sort of at this tall section, and then maybe one more down there. I like the way the sandcastle block sort of accentuates outside of and next to the yellow of the savanna. And I really like the dark stucco in contrast. I'm not so big on the normal stucco, or the ruddy stucco, I guess it's called. Do I even have the yellow on me? No. So I kind of like the dark stucco. I'm thinking maybe just a lot of like little huts along the river could be kind of cool. Just maybe we could make some sort of adventure with it. So I'm not sure. I mean, there's no real practical use for a build in this game anymore. You know, I've sort of built all the farms and different things, so this is going to be more for looks. Maybe some sort of like fun adventure though? I don't know, but I kind of like this idea of doing sort of small squat huts with flat roofs, and then maybe, you know, we can do some like terraces on top of them and whatnot. But I think this is what we go with, and sort of just try and decorate up sort of this coastline, not too far inland either. They kind of all build around the water, and it might be just kind of a fun build to try and, you know, to try and figure out just different little tricks. You know, if you go through, Echo is one of the really good builders in Creativerse. He or she, I can't remember, but they do these incredible builds. But one of the cool things I really like is the builds aren't very big. They're just incredibly detailed. And I think that might be fun for this project, is to really try and make the details the part that count. So like the builds themselves are kind of whatever, and then we make it all up with details, which is not something I do very often. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that might be cool. I was also sort of experimenting with the rocky dirt as sort of a pathway block. It's like perfect. I love the rocky dirt texture. So probably pathways. I think we're going to work more on this next time when I have a little bit more time to just sort of experiment. But I think we've sort of found a palette that I like for the builds themselves. I think the way we're going to differentiate them is to use some of the different stucco. I'm not like completely sold on that idea. But one thing I did do is sort of put the stucco behind. So these sort of support pillars are around the outside of the house and then the stucco's behind. Yeah, but I do like this sandcastle block a lot. And I've sort of got a vision for what I want to do here. So that's really cool. We're going to work on this more next time. For now, I think what I want to do is go to one of Echo's builds and sort of show you guys what I mean when I say the details all add up when the build's not enormous. Because I think I'm much more of a... I build... I don't know what just happened. He hit me and died, and I equipped armor. But I'm not much of a detail builder. I'm more of a build big things that aren't as detailed, but nobody says anything because they're big enough that people are like, well, he worked hard on that, so let's just let him have it. And it might be fun to do something kind of more detailed. So let's just go check out something detailed. All right, so this is a adventure I've already checked out. Highly recommended. Echo's Creative Digest House Tour. This is a house that they built. A little cabin in the woods. I don't remember. We just go over the top. But yeah, it's something like... Well, I think inside the house is probably the best. I mean, obviously, this is all amazing looking. The house is gorgeous. But I guess I want to look in the house. I left... you can pull the blocks from under it. Okay. Anyway, yeah, if we go down here, this is a bathroom. But inside of his house is just a lot of, like, detail. So you can see it's very full with blocks and very detailed. And I guess what I want to ask you guys is if you have any little tips and tricks for how to fill space in Creativerse. Sort of things that look really cool. What am I saying? What am I trying to say? I want to do detail building in this build that I'm going to try. And, you know, stuff like this where it's a lot of blocks placed different ways. Snow as a countertop. Maybe not specifically this. I was more just using this as an example of, like, a crazy amount of detail making a build. Well, it's not necessarily... I'm, like, getting lost in my words. Sometimes when I walk through Echo's builds, I'm just like, I don't... It's hard not to be at a loss for words. Look at this piano. Seriously. There's a glass piano, and it looks spectacular. But, yeah. If you guys have any tips or tricks that I should check out or you just think are really cool, just let me know in those comments down below. We can check out the backyard as well. Look at how detailed it is back here. Little cabin in the woods. You got a pool and a dock with a little pond. It's just a beautiful, beautiful build. I'm getting lost in my words. I'm running out of time to record for today. I spent a long time not showing you guys what I was building because I was really embarrassed of some of the stuff that I had up in the savannah. But yeah, no girls allowed. Perfect. This sounds like the perfect place to hide out. Anyway, there would be an anime girl on the wall, wouldn't there? Anyway, I'm going to end this here for today. I tried out a lot of builds. Sometimes, you know, it's hard to show people. If you're just trying to build stuff and try stuff, sometimes that can be like a little difficult to show people. But anyway, I am going to go now before words start making less sense than they already have. Let me know what you think of those comments down below. Do you like the color scheme and the palette that I went with, the sandcastle wall and the stucco? And if you have any suggestions for details or things that would fit in, I was thinking, I don't know. I'll talk about it more next time. I'm just completely befuddled today. Words stopped making sense a while ago. Now you're just listening to the ramblings of a complete fool. I'll just see you guys in the next one. where we will get some more building done and start really expanding this build into what I want it to be. Anyway, leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know what you think in those comments down below, and subscribe for more. I'm going to mercifully end this episode for myself.